it's a pretty awesome tool. I hadn't done anything like that before, so I think it's worth experimenting with.
Today's high impact strategy is focused on the Debate Team Carousel. The Debate Team Carousel is a powerful strategy that can be used in a variety of content areas. It can be used to increase student participation as well as student questioning techniques. The Debate Team Carousel engages students in a way that they're collaboratively working with one another to take various perspectives and evaluate claims. Today's teacher highlight comes from Andrew Gerlach. Andrew is a secondary communication arts English teacher, and his bonus highlight has to do with increasing student collaboration using digital platforms. When it comes to the pre-planning of this activity, we encourage educators to identify an informational source or text for students to explore. You want a source that allows students to have differing opinions, multiple understandings, or different perspectives. There's a lot of different ways that this strategy can be implemented. You want to find a tool that allows for an individual workspace that also can be accessible to a whole group, allowing students to view and edit content of others, and really have 4 spaces to construct a response, whether it be creating a 4-part chart on a Google slide, a Google Doc, or pen and paper. Now we're going to go through the steps of the Debate Team Carousel from the student side. First, students must review the informational source or text and construct a response giving their opinion. Students then view another colleague's work, and at this point, they have to write a supporting argument to what the initial student had put. Then, moving on to a second audience, the student reviews the original opinion along with the supporting arguments that have been constructed. And in the third box, they have to add an opposing argument, whether they agree with it or not. And in step 4, students move on to another person's work and add supporting arguments, the opposing argument, as well as adding then their own perspective based on taking into consideration all the different points of view and evidence from the text. And as always, we encourage teachers to wrap up by having students debrief, share their thinking, and elaborate on their responses. We're also going to take a look at the outcomes and educator perspectives from when Andrew implemented this strategy. And as always, you can scan the QR code to receive your own copy.
But I think above all, the thing that made it authentic is that the task itself was actually hard. Not too hard, but I think they were engaged because it was an interesting activity. So, yeah, a few things. I think some of the virtual students said they really liked being in a group with their in-person classmates. So I tried to put at least one virtual student in each group. And then so prior to them going into the breakout room, we talked about that. It was okay, what is group work? Should you just go into the room and read out all your responses? No, that's not what good group work looks like. And we talked about what good group work looks like. And I think we even talked about okay, so what should you do if there's a long silence and no one's saying anything? And then here are some ways that you can handle that. Here are some kinds of things that you can say. Some practical things. I think, all the in-person students need headphones. And it takes some time to manually set up those breakout rooms. So I had the groups beforehand, and then I set up the breakout rooms and then put the students in those breakout rooms. So those are some practical considerations. I found it helpful to have them do a significant amount of individual work before joining the breakout room, so they had something to contribute. And then you can jump from room to room. So I did that and interrupted kind of when a norm of group work wasn't being followed, just repeating the expectations. I've also found it helpful in the past to give a presentation on norms around group work to help them understand what that looks like.